VOD track for YouTube and everything. That's another reason why. They got some things. Alright. I'm gonna get started real quick. Hey, yo! Ladies and gentlemen, how we freaking doing? Excuse me. I said, hey, yo! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on in. I need to hide that because I was using that as a new thing that that just showed my entire capture card and everything that I had, which is cool. You guys get a sneak peek on everything that's going on and everything that I do. But how we doing, everybody? Welcome on in. For those of you guys who are new, my name is Percussive173, and today we have a really exciting episode of the PSP Podcast. I'm very excited to kind of vibe out and talk to some like-minded creators who are genuinely amazing people. You guys have seen a lot lately. I know I haven't really been live all that much. I've been really focused on kind of improving my overall stream stuff, like with you guys. So my goal as a creator is to always provide the best possible content, is to always be the best straightforward with you guys, and just kind of be around and like just be there for you. And I appreciate everybody who comes in every single day, everybody on the Twitter, everybody on the TikTok, everybody on the Kick, everybody on the YouTube, everybody on the second YouTube, and everybody on the Twitch itself. I appreciate every single one of you guys every single day. But as we always say, ladies and gents, I'm your friendly neighborhood drummer, and you guys are the band fam, because a drummer would be absolutely nothing without his band. So how's everybody's Thanksgiving? Oh my goodness. Hi, Amanda. Welcome on into the band fam. We are getting ready for this podcast. It is amazing to see you. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. Let's roll it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on in to the PSP Podcast, featuring your friendly host, Percussive173, where PSP stands for Perk Spreads Positivity, where we educate.
The 3 E's, right? You can educate, you can entertain, you can be empathetic.
Have you encountered any gender-related obstacles or biases while building your career in content creation?
I would say the cyber stalking.
By bringing in the best of the best. You still do that, so let's not discount that. So what really made you go into streaming? What was that decision? What was that move that made you, Nick, as I'm very sorry, I know I'm teasing you, but it's literally, it's one of those things that we can do, post everywhere, post often, and do it your own way. And have fun. And have fun and be yourself.
Fine. Have fun, honestly. Like that, I love that so much because it's so true. Like, if you like the content you're making, like if you're watching it and you like it, you're not the only person.
From fitness to establish a new habit or a routine, what is your message to them?
Start with less than you think you need.
Too fitting. Would love to get some tips and tricks of the trade on like how you kind of do things in the cosplay field.
Yeah, I'd love to go into that, especially because like I've done a little bit of everything, right? So I've made some costumes, I've bought some costumes, I have my friends' old costumes, I've commissioned costumes, I like craft all kinds of things, but also I wear things. Like there's a whole smorgasbord if I do a little bit of everything when it comes to cosplay.
To VTubing and animation. This is something that I may want to get into. How should they start?
Ooh, I think everyone should start on YouTube. I think YouTube is going to be your best place for launching
metrics that creators should be paying attention to, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think, and like specifically with like VTubing, I think it's, I think all of that is like kind of like the difficulty level is like bumped up to like expert.
And our goal at the PSP Podcast is to educate and inspire aspiring creators. And we are super excited for this week's episode, and we can't wait to see you there. So let's have a freaking party! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on into today's episode of the PSP Podcast, where my name's Percussive173, and PSP stands for Perk Spreads Positivity, and I could not be more excited because today we are cranking up the energy. We got a certified demon in the house today, a Call of Duty demon, that is. She reps Reign Above, she's cracked on the sticks, and she's built different, and she is really, really, really awesome. Today, we're going to be talking about COD. We're going to be talking about content. We're going to be talking about all the good vibes for all of you amazing creators. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on in, Elise. How are you, Elise? I don't even know how to say your last name. Is it Mao? Elise Mao?
That isn't even my last name. That's just my initials are MA after. That's my middle initial and my last name initial.
They're MA. It's Elise. You said LC. I feel that, Rilo. So, Elise, welcome on into the PSP Podcast. Let's introduce yourself to people who may not know who you are. So, who is Elise? What does she do? And where did your content come from? Oh, your mic completely muted for a moment. I think it's Discord.
It is Discord. For me, my Discord's like being weird.
It might, honestly, it might be mine as well. If that does happen, I do have backups. We can just go use the Video Ninja. It'll just take a couple things, but we'll make sure we edit that part out. But at least, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody? Let's see how things go.
I'm saying, can you hear me better now?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. I'm Elise. I am a newer streamer from Michigan. I started streaming about a year ago from TikTok Live, originally in November of last year. I did just start streaming on Twitch in the beginning of this year, probably around March or April, but I'm just a newer COD streamer that just enjoys playing video games and vibing out and making friends. So that's just my streaming content realistically.
And that's awesome because Call of Duty has been my home. It's been something that I've really focused on and I just enjoy COD as much as like it gets such a negative rep. So you mentioned that like you're a newer streamer. And one of the things that I'm like really curious and I definitely want to touch on today is you've grown rapidly. Like I've watched you come from like when you were streaming like for the first time that you were only like streaming on Facecam and then just playing kind of COD in the background. And now, like, you're streaming, like, with a whole setup and got everything going. And I think that's, like, super cool. So we want to talk a little bit about, like, what did you do? What made you want to grow?
Honestly, I did, like you said, I did start out very small. I started on TikTok Live. I actually, before I even played COD on Live, I just started with Get Ready With Me's. I used to just go live and I would do my hair and I'd do my skincare routine and I just chat with people and I would, grow my TikTok. And then I had joined Hype Unit as an org when I very first started there, who helped me originally become bigger into streaming and like learn a little bit more about it. Then I started doing the dual cam on my phone where I would prop my phone up and I would have it show my TV screen and I'd have the other camera showing me and I would just play COD in front of my cam. And it kind of grew a little bit faster than I assumed it was going to. So I ended up getting a PC and from there, I still streamed on TikTok for a while. I was a little scared for Twitch. It had such a big name and I was still so tiny that I really didn't know too much about it. But I was like, you know what? Doesn't hurt to try it. So I just started streaming one day. I learned a little bit about OBS. A lot of people were there for me and supported me and helped me. And I just continue to grow, and that's all I try to do these days, make my community bigger, make new friends, spread positivity, just like this podcast.
Absolutely. And I could definitely see that, and I definitely watched that happen like throughout the years. I think I met you through Bree, and like for everybody in the chat, I apologize. It looks like we're having a little bit of internet issues, and it looks like the video that we're using is kind of going dark on Elisa's end. So I'll try to see what I can do to fix that. I don't know if I can. Obviously, like internet's out of our control, but You wouldn't be a
That's so
creator if
weird.
you don't have tech issues. Yeah, so what I'm
No,
showing,
literally.
so I'm showing on my end is we're getting a bunch of packet loss in the preview, and I
Hmm.
wonder if that might be because of Meld Virtual Camera. Also, welcome on in on the YouTube, Reslin and Amanda. Yes, I do also really love her glasses. Are those Zenni optical glasses?
They are. I actually just got them today.
W. I actually have been repping Zenni Optical, and I'm actually a partner with Zenni, and I could not love their glasses more. They've done a lot of great things for me. They allow me to be the creator that I can, to even be able to see in Call of Duty and like everything beyond that. I'm not gonna like. We typically don't do promotions on the podcast, but I mean, I just noticed because your glasses are really awesome.
I
But
love
yeah,
them.
they're so great. Also, they're really cheap too. But when it comes to positivity, like I definitely see that emulate from everything that you do, whether it be from like just streaming Call of Duty or whether it just be like putting out like proper content, and like you really have grown super fast, super rapidly, especially on Twitter. Not just on Twitter, but even on like the like on other platforms as well. Like once you started posting content, you started making yourself known on Twitter, you just started like a lot of people started following you, and it's because I don't know, I feel like you just emulate that positivity and like people want to connect with you, you know?
Yeah, I mean that's just one thing that I strive really big on for presenting myself
Mm-hmm.
online and in real life. I am just me. I don't feel I have to put on a show for anybody. When I turn on my camera to start streaming, that is 100% me. That is how I am on this camera and off the camera. I am chaotic sometimes. Sometimes I'm quiet. I'm me. You either vibe on my side or you don't, but I still cheer you on from afar, whether you're in my circle or you're not. And I just try to create that welcoming vibe so people feel comfortable to come into my chat and have a conversation with me. I have people that randomly all over the world that just comment in my chat sometimes, and I'm like, oh hi, how's your day going? Like, I love to be welcoming. I love meeting new people. I love seeing that people resonate with me and they want to watch me because they like the vibe that I give off and that energy I give off, and that makes me happy because that is genuinely me. I don't have to put on a front for that. That is just me turning on my camera and being myself.
And that alone is so huge in a world of content. Every single episode we touch on being enthusiastically, authentically yourself, because as a content creator, we have to. There's no workaround for that. If you're not enthusiastically yourself, people will notice. But honestly, like with your growth and everything that you kind of put forward, did you feel like that was a surprise, or what did you feel like when everything just finally kind of clicked with all the work you've been putting in?
It was really surprising for me, honestly. Like, I feel like a lot of content creators and streamers and stuff, when they start this, they don't think they're gonna be anything of what they become. There's huge streamers that I look up to, right? That I watch. You got BB Jess, I look up to her. People like that I look up to. So like I don't, they probably didn't think they were going to be where they are now when they first clicked live for the very first time. When I clicked live for the first time, I was just as nervous as probably anybody else. I didn't know what to say, what to talk about. And then I just started talking. I just started rambling, talking to myself basically, whether there was somebody in my chat or not. I was talking about something. I'm singing to my music. I'm just talking crap to some COD kids in the lobby. But I mean, it was very surprising for me, and it did happen very fast. I mean, a year ago on Twitter, I had 100 followers. Like, I literally had nothing on Twitter, and I just hit 13K today. It was very fast and very rapid, and I still get mind blown sometimes. Like I look back and see when I've hit certain milestones, like when I hit 5K on Twitter, when I hit 10K on Twitter, and it just, you see how fast it's happening and how big your community grows sometimes, and it's just a blessing, honestly.
Absolutely. And when it comes to growth, especially rapid growth, a common question that people kind of discuss is it luck or is it skill? And I think a lot of content creators kind of miss the point with like when they experience rapid growth. It's like there is a portion of luck to it, but you have to be putting out content to make yourself visibly seen. Like for example, I've watched Steffi Evans grow from when she first started streaming like what was it, 5.5 years ago. And I watched her go from an average of 5 viewers to an average of 150 viewers. And like, you have to be putting out good content for people to be able to discover you. Do you think that was solely based off of Twitter, or was it TikTok, or what did you do from a content perspective that allowed for you to grow so quick?
Honestly, I think it was just being very open to all platforms, right?
Absolutely.
I did start out on TikTok, so that grew my TikTok platform. From there, I moved to Twitter, and I still I'm not as good on TikTok recently because I've been focusing a little bit more on Twitter, but I do periodically post on my TikTok still, just for fun, realistically. Everything I've done, the way I look at it personally is, yes, it's work, but this is fun for me. Like, I'm actually enjoying doing what I do. When I post on Twitter, I enjoy posting on Twitter. I'm not wrapped up in it, right? I have a full-time job. I have a life outside of social media, but I enjoy doing what I do. When I go live, I enjoy that. So it's like, I was very open-minded to all platforms, but I just posted like I would do normally, like I would on Facebook. Like I don't have a public Facebook that is strictly for like my close personal family and friends, but how I post on there for them just out of pure enjoyment of me liking, oh, I thought this post was funny. Oh, I really like this picture. I'm gonna post it. I just do that on all my platforms. If you feel my vibe is fun and the energy that I bring is great, like I beg that you come join my community and you just hang out, and you want to vibe with us. Like I love people. I love talking. I could gamble all day long with all these people, and you can either stay or you cannot, but I'm still going to talk to you whether you want to stay or you don't. Like I'm not going to be like, "Oh, I remember you were in my stream last time, but not the time before that." I don't care. Join when you want. Like, have fun. I don't have a set stream schedule. Like, if you're a night owl, I might be streaming. If you're a morning person, I might be streaming. Just come hang out, come vibe. Like, it's just my goal. And I think that's what's helped me grow a lot is I wasn't trying so hard. Like, I was just letting it happen, just being me. Like, I didn't really care if I got big or not. I just wanted like not friends necessarily, but like a community, people that enjoyed my company, and I enjoy theirs.
And that's honestly like a W. And like you mentioned, just the pure enjoyment. And I feel like streamers kind of miss the mark nowadays. It's like a lot of people forget like the reason why they started streaming in the first place. So they forget like the posting just because of pure enjoyment, which honestly, that's the reason why I haven't been posting as much. It's also because I have a lot of stuff going on in my personal life, but obviously that's going to change. But people forget that like when you want to grow as a creator, when you want to be authentically yourself, you want to post authentic content, you want to enjoy what you're posting, you want to hit that clip and you want to have pure enjoyment and you want to show that pure enjoyment because it emulates your personality. From a viewer perspective to a streamer perspective, I feel like everybody just kind of is like overthinking everything. And like and that's one of the things that I've watched streamers do. I've watched a lot of streamers fail. I've watched a lot of streamers dump into drama, and like unfortunately, as a content creator, it's just something that we deal with. But I feel like once we get back to I love this clip, I love this energy. This is what we want to put forward. that's really where we start seeing growth. And one of actually what's really interesting is Queen Manda is here, and her chaotic energy is what invites a whole bunch of people in. And like I can definitely kind of like mention that like by names, because like I watch the content that she puts forward, as well as watching your energy and your enthusiasm, because you're genuinely like happy and inspirational with what you do. And I think that's just really cool. So you mentioned that you don't have a set stream schedule, right?
Yeah, I do not. I do not. And actually, and I know it's great for a lot of people. And
Mm.
that's beautiful and it works great. I think a big reason why I don't have one is because I feel like that's how a lot of people drain themselves, is they feel obligated to work that schedule. It's almost like a job to them, right? And yes, people want to make money just doing what they do. Everybody wants to make money just living their life normally, right? But you're supposed to stream for the, like you said, the love and enjoyment of streaming and wanting to do it. I personally am really big on, if I set something, like I want to follow through with that. So if I set a stream schedule and I'm having a really long personal week, like if things are going on in my personal life, I don't want to feel bad that I'm not sticking to the schedule that I set out for people and they're expecting me on this day. Like my community knows how I am. They know that I am very sporadic. I stream. Some days I'll stream for 9 hours straight. Some days I stream for an hour. Some days it starts at 2 p.m. Sometimes it starts at 10 p.m. Like I am very sporadic. I also like that because like I said, I do have viewers from around the world. You know, not everybody has the same time. So if you guys can watch me at 2 p.m., they might not be able to. It might be 2 a.m. there and they can't. But when it's 10 p.m. here for me and I sign on, it might be 2 p.m. there for them. You know, I feel like that has worked very well for me so far. I mean, if it doesn't end up working well in the end, we can always make adjustments, but I feel personally it's helped me not burn myself out and still have that love and excitement when I press go live, you know.
And you mentioned like the overworking aspect. We do see that a lot, especially like when you indulge yourself more in like the world of content. A lot of people want to have like a set path to grow, to be able to turn something that more is less like a hobby into something that is more or less like a job or career, so that they can have that option on the tail end. Um, but there's a fine line between like working and like being happy about what you're doing and what you're posting and how you're putting things forward. Because overworking leads to depression. And when you get depressed, it's a catch-22, because as a streamer, like the viewer isn't going to want to be there, because they want to see you. They want to see you happy. They want to see you being enjoying. And a lot of viewers are going to pop in and want to say like, this person is actually enjoying COD, but I hate COD. What are you doing differently? So I guess I have to ask is like, with a game that's so negative like Call of Duty, what do you do differently on that?
Like viewer wise, like if they don't like the game, but they want to watch me type of situation. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, more or less like from a Call of Duty perspective. Like, what do you do to allow yourself to enjoy COD when everybody keeps giving it so much negative press?
I don't care. I don't.
I love it.
That is so honesty. I have my own opinions on that game. There are things, yes, I feel need to be fixed. Every game I feel has that, right? I feel like anybody that's very big into a specific set of games, when those games come out, you're very judgmental on them. That's your game, right? So you're like, oh, this needs to be fixed. Oh, this needs to be adjusted. You know, everybody's gonna do that. Every COD that comes out, I'm sorry, people talk about it. People
Yeah.
talk crap about it. It's just a thing. Like, nobody is ever 100% satisfied with a Call of Duty game that comes out. It's just real. You're never going to have 100% happiness with this game. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people are more into the warfares compared to the ops. It's just, I personally like the Black Ops better than Modern Warfare, stuff like that. Other people don't, though. They like that better than Black Ops. So everybody's going to have their own opinions. I play the game because I love the game. I love hearing people talk their crap. I love talking it back. It reminds me of when we were younger and everybody was a lot less sensitive in these COD communities, and we were able to just play the game, talk our crap, and at the end, it was the end, right? The game's over now. Like, it was just a game. Just like sports. People argue about sports. They got their rivalries. I talk my crap about any team when it comes to the Lions, even if we're losing. I'm going to talk my crap. But that doesn't mean we're not friends and if we can't just turn it off right after it's over. Like, it's just a game. Like, I come to play and have fun. Like, you guys take it way too seriously sometimes.
I can definitely agree with that in response to Call of Duty. So, like, Call of Duty is one of those games where, like, I know in the past, like, people, like, have this false fallacy related to Call of Duty where, like, the lobbies where, like, everybody was being, like, racist and bigoted, and that wasn't the case. Like, in the past Call of Duties, like, back, like, in MW2 or, like, the original Black Ops, like, when the lobbies were actually, like, super competitive, we were super rude to each other, but at the end of the match, it was all love. It was all respect. And I feel like currently, like, nowadays, there's none of that. I think people just kind of get, like, a weird rise out of the racism and bigotry in Call of Duty, and that's kind of where the game has gone and how it's gotten negative rep. But in the past, it was really, like, genuine. It's kind of like where, like, Arc Raiders is right now, where, like, the proximity chat in Arc Raiders, like, everybody talks shit to each other when they go into a gunfight, but then they work together at the same time and, like, spread positivity. And, like, as a fellow COD creator myself, that game is so negative. That game is so, like, disheartening from time to time. And, like, the best thing that I do is just try to make people laugh in the game because, like, they go in so aggressive and so angry. So my goal is to make them laugh. But, like, everybody has a different mindset to it. So, like, talking about COD and talking about, like, just content in general, where do you see yourself going now that you've experienced a high level of growth? And what do you want to do?
Honestly, I just want to keep doing what I'm doing.
Hell yeah.
DreamHack Atlanta was the first convention that I was accepted as a creator, and I was very thankful for it. It was a beautiful experience, and I pray that I get to continue to experience that. It was crazy for me to even experience something like that. I was like, it felt like a dream almost. Like, I was just looking at this and it's like creator on it, and it was just like, man, that's crazy. You know, it's beautiful and it's exciting, and I don't, like, these are goals for me to achieve, right? And am I disappointed when I don't achieve them right away or when I don't get to them? Yeah, obviously, but they're exciting for me. Like, it's exciting to hit those milestones, especially when you're not trying. You know, you're just living your life. You're just doing what you do. You know, I went to a Harley dealership that I used to work at. And when I was interviewing there, literally the GM came up to me and he goes, "Do you stream on Twitch?" And I was like, yeah. And I was still fairly new. Like, this was probably, I probably just hit like 300 followers. I think I'm at 500 on Twitch now. And I was like, that's crazy, right? I've never experienced something like that. So it's really crazy to start going out into the public, and here and there somebody does recognize you because you don't realize how big Twitch really is and how many people just go on Twitch just to randomly watch it. You know, it's huge. And you just pop up sometimes. You just come across, you know. I had a friend tell me he thinks that he was in a random stream one time and they rated out to me. And they were like, what the heck? Like, I didn't even know you streamed. That's how they found out I streamed. So it's like, it's crazy to see all the little different ways that you get viewers and you get new people in your chat. Like, it's so cool and it's exciting, and I just want to keep going in that path, right? I don't really care if I get huge, like Steffi or BB Jess. But would I love to do that? Yes. And that's why I watch them, and that's why I look up to them, because I feel like they are just themselves. They just have fun, and they do this, and they're very open and honest and just authentically themselves, and that's helped them grow as big as they are. And that's why I just keep doing what I'm doing. I just keep being myself, and I know that that'll pay off one day, whether it's fast or slow. It's gonna take its course, and I can't wait to see where that goes.
And that's a wonderful mentality to have too, especially as like a budding creator. And like a lot of a lot of times when I bring people on the podcast, like they already have a set thing in plan. Not a lot of people kind of leave the door open like you did, and I think that's truly inspiring, and that's really cool. Because as a viewer, when you pop into somebody's stream, like you kind of have to have that mentality of what do you want to see, or like what are you actually looking for? Because you mentioned like you see how big Twitch is, right? Like you never really realize exactly how big that community is and how far it extends. It's such a small world out there, and that's why like I go into it with the most upstanding professionalism I possibly can. And like I want to have an environment where it's educational, where it's just inspiring, and I could just spread positivity and allow people to look back into really why they wanted to stream in the first place, and maybe inspire them to move forward. And like I see that in your content with the way that you do things, because like you're actually putting that foot down and just saying, you know what, this is me, this is who I am, and like come find me, enjoy it. Like I see your High Tide fam on the PSP Podcast YouTube chat. So like I see them popping in and out of there. Like, and we see all chat actually. So I see everybody coming in and out, and it's really awesome to see. But did you start as a viewer, or did you kind of just go right into streaming, just saying, "Hey, yo, I just want to stream. I just want to put myself out there"?
Honestly, I just put myself out there.
Hell yeah.
I didn't want to go into it with any expectations. That was a really big thing for me. I am one that is very hard on myself. So
Same.
when I start to set expectations for myself, it becomes a little discouraging for me. So that's where this whole authentic thing comes in, is I never wanted to start the foundation of my community off of me pretending to be something, I want my community to know that I'm loud, I'm crazy. Sometimes I'm a little TMI, it's just who I am. I'm just a very open person. So I'm going to be honest with you. If I don't like what you're saying, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just an open, honest person. And you either vibe with me or you don't. I don't want you to feel forced to be in my community. I don't want you to feel like you're an outsider in my community, because I'm weird. I am weird. I am loud. I am crazy. Okay? Whether you're that or you're not, you fit in. I promise. Like, that's it. When I first started streaming on TikTok, my big slogan was good vibes only. Good vibes only. You came into my chat, it was good vibes only. You said anything outside of good vibes, you were kicked from my chat immediately. Like, I didn't play that. And I still don't. I will either tell you good vibes only and you will adjust yourself, or my mods will kick you. I'm very big on that. I'm very open. I'm very welcoming. Yeah, we're goofy. We're all crazy. We might say some wild stuff, but we are never in my chat going to disrespect somebody. We're never going to start arguing with somebody. We're never going to do this. Like, it is strictly us having fun and enjoying each other's company and just having a great time. You either want to be there or you don't,
And that's huge. And like having that mentality of just spreading positivity, having good vibes, allowing people to enter your community to see the best in you. It's awesome. It's like genuinely like cool. And like, So this podcast is for new and aspiring creators. I bring in a lot of people, some with 5 followers, some with 5 million followers, and every person I talk to kind of says the same thing in a roundabout way, and that is there is no real set path as a content creator. It's your own journey. So, what is your advice to any new creators who maybe want to hit that live button for the first time?
My advice to any new streamer that is about to hit that go live button, just click it. I have so much anxiety. I am an anxiety filled person. I overthink everything. I am so hard on myself. I clicked that go live button with no clue what streaming it like. If you go to anybody, a lot of people have studied a little bit. They were a viewer, like he was asking about. They were, learning. They started watching TikTok lives and Twitch and stuff. If you're looking at somebody right now that came with absolutely zero knowledge. I had absolute zero clue what I was doing when I joined that community. And I pressed go live and I just started yapping. I just did what I normally do. I had my best friends popping in my TikTok live. It'd be my very first live. I had my best friend Kat. She'd pop right in there. And that's who I would talk to. I'd be like, I need you to stop in so that I can have somebody to have a conversation with. And so I wasn't just like sitting there awkwardly or being weird, like I would have my family come into chat and like they would do it very willingly. I had support systems. I had somebody that would start a conversation with me so that I could start something, right? Get something going. I would play music. I would just mind my business, sing to my music. I'd paint my nails. I'd curl my hair. I just did things that made the energy very happy and vibey, and people just wanted to talk to me. And how's your day going? What do you do? Like, how are you? How old are you? And that's just how it started. And now I still get anxious when I click go live. I can't lie. I still do. I get nervous every time because anything can happen. I've had my TikTok lives go bad. I've had people coming in there throwing very, very wild comments to me where I actually had to click end. Like I had to end my live because it affected me so badly. And ever since then, it's just not been a thing for me. Bye. They're gone. Like that is your community. You are 100% in control of your stream. If you don't want somebody there, they don't have to be there. You just be you. Just do what you want. If they want to watch, they want to watch. If they don't, they don't. But eventually you'll find your people and you'll just be doing everyday things with your camera on and it'll become secondhand nature to you.
And that's awesome that you bring that up because that kind of brings me into like the emergence of IRL streaming. IRL streaming has gotten very, very, very popular over the last year. And I know that there's a lot of regulations that are starting to come down on the IRL streaming side of things. But like a lot of you mentioned just having your camera on, right? And just doing what you do in your personal life, and then people may pop over and just say, yo, what's up? Like we see that a lot. Like we see people taking you into stores or just like traveling to a new coffee shop or giving them an IRL lunch experience because I mean it's just really cool to see the emergence of IRL streaming. Do you see yourself kind of moving in that direction a little bit, or do you just kind of want to keep the doors completely open?
So I've thought about it. It becomes a little hard for me, honestly, because of trauma that I've had.
Okay.
Being in public is a little bit harder for me, especially if I'm by myself. So for me to just grab my, my stuff and go IRL stream in public, I do live not far from Detroit. I live, so I don't live in the greatest area. Am I comfortable to go walk around there? Yeah, just for, a little bit, but I wouldn't feel comfortable just IRL streaming in those types of areas because it does draw attention to you and attraction to you when they see what you're doing. They hear you talking and, doing things. It draws attraction to you. And I already get that enough from where I'm from and where I'm at in those situations where it's just a little bit more uncomfortable for me, like I said, due to past traumas and things that have happened to me. Do I feel like when I go on vacations and stuff, I might start doing that? Yeah, I thought about it at DreamHack. Honestly, the only reason I didn't at DreamHack is because everybody was doing it at DreamHack, and at that point, I just felt I wanted to be original.
DreamHack was interesting because DreamHack, I just wanted to fully immerse myself in the convention. Like, I wanted to IRL stream too. I wanted to bring my entire community along. But I actually, I decided, to just enjoy the convention as the convention. And I got to meet a lot of really cool people. I got to talk to a lot of really cool brands. And, it's really cool to, think about the IRL streaming concepts and, doing stuff like that. But you're right. There definitely is a safety issue behind that. And a lot of people kind of look into that. I know I'm not really qualified to talk on that. I know we had some other creators. I do believe we had, well, not I do believe, I know for a fact we had Erect Dictator, we had Shorty Pie. We had both of them come onto the podcast in the past, and they taught me a lot about it. So what's one thing that you do as a streamer, speaking of safety, that you do to protect your safety while streaming? Because I know that's a big thing in this world.
When it comes to, are you speaking in public, like if I go to conventions and stuff, or are you speaking strictly in the virtual aspect?
Well, I mean, it could be both, because safety is just kind of like an all around type thing. But I know we kind of branched into the IRL aspect, but I know you're mostly from the virtual perspective, and you're good being a gamer.
So I think realistically, when it comes to virtual, I definitely just make sure I have my mods on top of it, whether it's one or two, all of them. Some of them, if I message them, they're very quick and on top of it to jump into my stream and make sure they get rid of it. Any chat or any tweet on my posts, and if I don't like it, it doesn't make me feel comfortable, it's gone. I delete it right off of it. I don't put up with any of it. I don't tolerate any of it. When I go to conventions, I make sure that I am around people that I know and trust, where if something were to happen, I have people there with me. I am not one to walk around by myself. Back to the IRL things. When you're IRL, people can find out where you are very easily. And unless you're in a very public area, and even then, still, it's very easier for people to come find you and be weird. And, you never know who's watching. You never know what they're going to do, what their intentions are. They might just come to meet you. They might just want to be like, oh my God, hi. Some people don't have those intentions. Therefore, when I go to DreamHack, I go to Loot Fest, I go to conventions like these things, I stay around people or security or a camera, something at all times, because this world's crazy. It has nothing to do with you, right? It could just be the person alone. Their intentions are not good, and it might not even be targeted to you. You're just the first person, or you're just the easiest target, and I pray that any woman, any of those, if you feel uncomfortable and you need to be with somebody, please find me, because that is a big thing for me. I will stand up for somebody and make sure that they are not alone, especially a female. I've been through a lot of stuff, and I've seen a lot of stuff, even at DreamHack. There were incidents at DreamHack that we were all put aware of.
Mm-hmm.
That's not okay. And so many viewers have come to this thought in their head that it's just okay to do these things, and it's not. And that's why it's so hard for streamers, especially bigger streamers, to want to meet people and want to go do meet and greets and want to go to these conventions, yes, you see it with actors sometimes, but do you see it that big with celebrities? I mean, you don't. You see people like, wanting pictures and, bombarding them, but you don't see them being like psychopaths like that. It's because they have security. Do you want these streamers to have to get security from you guys? Like they feel that uncomfortable that they have to get security? Like
It's kind of
be
sad thinking
normal.
about it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of sad because we want to put ourselves out there. We want to be able to go to conventions, and like, I can't necessarily speak for a lot of that because I don't personally experience it. I know my friends do, and I'm always there for anybody to be that like bodyguard. Like, I'm a big guy.
Mm-hmm.
People are scared of me. People aren't gonna mess with me. It just is what it is. But like, we definitely try to promote safety, especially when we're in public spaces. Like, we've seen it at TwitchCon, we've seen it at DreamHack,
Mm-hmm.
we've seen situations that make people uncomfortable, and it happens in day-to-day life as well. Like, it's not just like from a streaming perspective. Like, my friends and I went to a coffee shop, and then like we were just going there as friends, just talking, and like she just got consistently hit on. We had a guy literally sit at our table, and as I was sitting there, and we're like, "Can we help you?" And they're like, "I just want to talk to your friend." And I'm like, "It's not going to happen." I was like, "But I just want to talk to your friend. Your friend is like seems really chill and like really awesome." And I'm like, "Well, you can also not talk to our friend because we're not interested in you because we don't know you." But
Mm-hmm.
it's an unfortunate portion of the world where public safety is a huge thing, and like we have to like protect ourselves. And I wish that it was better, but there's only so much that we can do. Having good friends, having good vibes, having good people surrounding you, and is the best thing that we can do. And it's getting to the point where we do have to get security because people create parasocial relationships, and they create icon ships based off of like those streamers who are gaining popularity super quick. And it's just a really interesting thing. Oh, not interesting is the wrong word. It's a very scary thing
Yeah.
because
No, I definitely understand what you meant when you said
Mhm.
interesting. It's terrifying,
It is.
but it makes you wonder, like, why is this as big, or is it getting as big as it is? Like,
Well, I mean,
I
for starters, people are lonely. And I'm not saying that is a full on excuse, so please don't try and like put any words where they're not. I'm saying there's a lot of lonely people out there, and
Mhm.
they try to create those internalized parasocial relationships through um like trying to establish connections with like other people, like, and it's very very scary. There's a fine line that we as creators all have to put into those things. And the loneliness epidemic, and I'm not talking about the male loneliness epidemic because like I agree with that, they should be lonelier because they're creepy as all hell. I'm talking about like the American loneliness epidemic. A lot
Mhm.
of people don't have the money to go out anymore. They don't have the money to go drink with their friends. They don't have the ability to establish an internal finances for themselves. So they turn to the more free aspects like Twitch or anime or other things like that. And it's just something to kind of think about, but it's not an excuse either. It's
Right.
just there's a lot of things that lead into the dangerous world that we live in, and the best thing that we can do is create a safe place within our live streams. But as like going to conventions, we have to stick together. Like, us
Mhm.
content creators, we have to stick together. There's no other way around it.
I agree. I agree because all of us can experience that. Have we?
Mm-hmm.
Will we? Nobody knows. But is there a chance that all of us content creators will experience something like that? There's a chance. There's always that chance when you're creating content and you're making yourself public for people to watch and see and, you know, get to know, right? Because when you're streaming and stuff, you might not feel like they're getting to know you, but they're getting to know you. They're just like when you hang out with somebody, that's basically what they're doing. They're
Mm-hmm.
hanging out with you.
Yep.
They're catching on to little things that you do. Maybe you like to eat specific things. Now they've started to pick up, oh, that's her favorite snack. Every time I watch her, she's got that. They get to know you. They create these bonds with you, especially if they can see themselves in you, some sort of connection where they feel like, oh, they've been through this. I've been through this. Like, it's nice to know, my pinned tweet on my Twitter, if anybody has seen it, is my story of what happened to me, my trauma. A lot of people, understand that, and they feel connected to me in a way because they've been through something traumatic like that. And I am very open about that situation. That happened to me, and I feel my voice is very big for people when it comes to those type of situations. So a lot of people connect with me through that, and that creates those bonds where I can understand where it can get kind of blown out of proportion almost with people that are very lonely and they feel like they don't have someone. When you create that warm, welcoming environment, they feel like you guys are now close and vested friends, basically. And when you're such a big streamer, that can be hard, because you start to feel guilty, right? You meet these people and they're like, oh my gosh, like they have this deep connection with you, and you're like, I don't really know you that well, but I'm so excited to meet you. Like, I'm glad, but it can create weird, I don't want to say relationships because it's more one-sided, but these fantasies almost, like,
Well, it's
I guess that's kind of
parasocial.
what you call it. Right.
Yeah, it's just
So
parasocial.
it's hard too, especially when, you are very welcoming and very comforting and just that person. I try to respond to every comment in my chats. I try to be so understanding, constantly asking about people's days. If they're venting in my chat, I'm very open and want to talk to them, make people feel better. And that is very scary when you are just that nice and open of a person that I've felt I've had to surround myself with people, because sadly people can take that the wrong way of you being nice and a good person, and they take it as flirting and
Yeah.
like this different type of emotion that it's not, and it's scary.
And that's why my goal is a human being. Like, we all experience like a whole bunch of negativity in that aspect. The parasocial relationships do blossom. But my goal as a human being is to make a positive impact with every connection that I make. And my goal is to leave every connection that I make in a more positive situation than where I started it at. And I know that's not possible with everybody. And like, I just want to make friends. The sad truth with me is, like, I'm one of the loneliest people that you'll ever meet, even though everybody wants to hang out with me and like wants to kick it. And it's because of some of the stuff that I talk with my therapist about. And yes, I do speak with a therapist, and I am a huge advocate of mental health therapy and stuff like that. But there's a lot of negativity that comes within the streaming space that you kind of have to be aware of to withhold security. And as a human being, we have to take care of ourselves from a mental perspective. It's just super, super important. Because it's one of the dangers of going into the online world. The internet is not a safe place. It is a very dangerous place. We see it time and time and again. But if you want to grow, you have to make those connections. And as a content creator, we have to draw those lines. Do you know where that line is with you yet, or are you still working on that?
I think I definitely am still working on it. I can admit that. Because I am a very big empath, and I want everybody to feel welcome
Of course.
wherever we're at. I feel like it is still something hard for me to create, because I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't want to make them feel singled out. I don't want any type of negative feelings. And I feel like sometimes when you do those certain things, even though you have to, it can be taken out of context sometimes, especially by the other person if they don't
True.
they're not open-minded to it, you know? So then,
Well, sometimes we have to be super real with them. Like
mm-hmm,
sometimes we have to be like, yo, look, this is my boundary. This is where I'm stopping it. Like, for example, I set a fine boundary in my own personal versus streaming life where no one's going to find out what I do for work. They'll
right,
find out the general aspect, like I work in technology, or I work in cybersecurity, or I work in that general field, but they're never going to find out where I work. I separate
right,
my own life from I separate my own life from my streaming life pretty heavily. And that's to protect myself, that's to protect the people that I work with, it's to protect my family, and it's to protect my livelihood. So, but everybody does things differently.
yeah, I would definitely say that's something. I think that's a big part of what makes me me, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
is those things. So it's kind of hard for me to put that into my boundary aspect, which is really good for people. That is smart to do, right? Um, I am really big into I I'm a hard worker by day in a full-time job, and I work my butt off at night streaming and gaming, and I wouldn't even say working, right? Just having fun, but like that's me.
Mm-hmm.
That's like my content, you know? That's who I push myself as. You see my business by day and gaming by night. That's like a big thing for me. That's something I've posted. I'm a paralegal by day, streamer by night. Like it's been my persona, and it is me. That is actually me. So it's been my thing that I go off of, and you know, it's hard to keep my family out of it when my parents are some of my biggest supporters. Like, you're gonna see them in chat, you know, and then I'm commenting like to my parents. You know, it's hard to create those boundaries. I'm very prideful in my brother is my hero, and he's in the military. I'm very open about that. Like, I am proud of my brother. I am an Air Force sister that is my best friend. So, like, those
W.
little things are things that I pride on. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I am a military sister. I am, you know, very thankful, and I think the reason why I not necessarily use those things, but why I keep them very open and honest is because they've made me who I am. Those little bits and pieces are me. That is me. And if I'm going to be authentically myself to these people, those things are things they need to know. Am I just blatantly giving out my last name? No. Sadly, if you look it up, you could probably figure it out. But I'm not just out here putting it out there. That's where you get my little bit of a name. I've honestly thought about rebranding before because I go by my real first name.
You and I talked about that a little bit about
Right.
eventually, yeah, and it's huge.
But I had talked about it because it it is scary, right? We see all the things that are going on with streamers and it gets scary, but I have always been me, right? And so I'm going to be straight up with you. If somebody comes up to me and I feel uncomfortable, I'm going to make it known. If I have to defend myself, I'm going to defend myself. I am sorry. And I know not everybody's like me. I know that. And I speak down on nobody, right? So I am not speaking down about anybody that does not handle it this way. But if I am at a convention and somebody comes, or public, and somebody comes up to me, male or female, and they make me feel uncomfortable, they touch me, they put their hands on me, I'm gonna swing on you. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that is just me. And I am very honest about that. I will tell anybody that. You make me anywhere type of uncomfortable. My fight or flight is fight. I'm gonna swing. I'm gonna when I'm anxious, when I'm like I'm gonna hit you. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm not saying anything of that, but that's where my boundary is. You'll know if I'm uncomfortable or not. You should know what you're doing is inappropriate, you know? If it's, you know, something minor that I could be like, whoa, back up a little bit, that's different. And if you run up to me like the incidents that we've seen, I'm gonna hit you. Like, and if I don't, somebody's going to for me.
True.
So that's a big thing with me. I'll never hide that. I will never be dishonest. I'll tell you straight up. Like, back up, because I'm gonna probably hit you if you do not back up. Like, that's my boundary, so I don't care if we're at a convention, you catch me out in public, you catch me at the store, that is how I am, always. So that's where my sort of thought process has gone, with still being honest and open about me and myself and not hiding much, because I don't care. I was raised in a family of, fighters. That's not the greatest thing, but I was. If I have to, I'm going to protect myself at all times.
You have to do what you have to do, because sometimes it works like that, and sometimes it's about like you have to do what makes sense to be able to protect your own being, because at the end of the day, it's our livelihood. It's who we are. Mm-hmm. It's what we do. We have to protect ourselves in our own environment to allow ourselves to be happy, because being happy and being genuine and being authentic is how we bring people into our community. So, speaking of communities, there's a little bit of streamer drama that I kind of wanted to touch on, that I kind of want your opinion on. A streamer said that when it comes to streamers on Twitch, we don't really care about your follow, but the bare minimum is lurking and racking up channel points, and I'm going to unfollow you. What's your response to a streamer that's going to unfollow other streamers based off of their content preference with lurkers in their stream? I'm curious on this one. I know this is a dumb thing, but
no, I know. And it has been a very big thing on Twitter recently. I've personally not invested in it, because this is probably just like a repeating record at that point almost.
Sure.
But I don't care. I do not care who. Do you think I go to my users in chat and write down everybody that's in my streams and comments in my streams? I don't care. We are all grown. We are all adults.
I don't even have my viewers on. I don't even know how much people are in my chat. I don't even have that.
I do. I personally do. And I see sometimes who is watching my streams, but I don't do it for the reason of. I do it because sometimes I'm like, oh, I gotta say something. I wonder if they're still in my chat. Or so, like, if my dad, like, if I.
So she's a drama starter chat.
Yeah, I mean, I'll check it. Do I care who's in it? No. Or I'll see what my numbers are at, because that's a goal for me, So I look at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's more than last night, So I get excited about that. But I'm a grown woman, okay? I work Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5 p.m. I bowl on 2 bowling leagues, one on Tuesday, one on Wednesday. I do one bowling tournament on one Saturday a month. I do another bowling tournament one Sunday a month. I am very busy. I don't have time to stop into their streams sometimes. So I do not feel bad if they don't stop into mine. Like, that doesn't mean they don't support me. That doesn't mean they don't see my stuff and like it and retweet it or repost it or share it to people. Or that sometimes they do stop in and they're in for a while, What's the difference between someone subbing to your stream and then never going to your stream after they sub to it? That's the exact same as somebody that's actually watching your stream and doesn't sub to it. The only difference is money. And if that's all you care about, then you shouldn't have followers in the first place.
Agreed.
That is my feeling. I don't want your follow if that's the only thing that you're worried about. I don't go to someone's page. Right. I don't go to someone's page and say, oh, they're not following me. Unfollow. I don't care.
I don't even look at that. I mean, like, when I follow people, I follow people for the sole purpose of do I like their content? Do I like their energy? Do I want to watch their streams? And you know what? That varies from person to person. And you can't like go visit 2,000 followers in an entire month. Like there's not enough time in a week to spend that amount of time in their chat. So like,
Right.
as you said, you work a full-time job and you have a bowling league and there's a lot of things that you do. There's like the same thing with me. I work a full-time job. Not only do I work a full-time job, but I'm working as a content creator. I also drive for Uber and I also deliver food. Not only that, I actually am a caretaker for my father who just went through cancer surgery. There's a lot of things that are going on in my interpersonal life, and it leaves me with a total of 2 to 3 hours to actually edit content a week. Sometimes that's going to be dedicated directly to the podcast, or it's going to be directed to actually communicating and talking to people. When I'm in somebody's stream, I'm either editing or doing something, or I'm eating food, and then I have their stream up. And I'll tell you, the reason why I'm in Manda's stream all the time is because she's on when I'm eating, or she is on when I have the time to actually view it. There are
That perfect
like
time frame.
Yeah, it's like I have 5 streamers that I'll cycle between, and it varies from the time frame that I'm eating because like we don't have a whole lot of time to hang out in people's chats. If we do, it's gonna affect our edits, or it's going to affect what we do, because we as content creators, we have to wear so many hats. We're our own videographers, we're our own audio engineers, we're our own video editors, we're our own marketing professionals. We have so many different things that we put into the same place. And do I believe that dimensional space cats exist? A question in the chat. Yeah, they're very important and very prominent in this entire galaxy and ecosystem. Do I actually believe that? I'll leave that to your own interpretation. But to also like to go back to what I'm saying is the content creators, we have a million different hats and a million different roles and a million different things that we come up with on a day-to-day basis. And we don't have that amount of time to go visit every single follower's chat, every single person who's streaming. And I don't expect streamers to be in my chat 24/7. And if they are, and if they even send 1 to 2 words, it makes my heart whole. Because my goal as a content creator is to make at least one person smile. I don't give a shit who it is, but if it's one person and they smile, then it means I've done my job. But that's just me.
No, and I agree. And honestly, I think my big question is, does that individual, that specific streamer, does she do exactly what she wants other people to be doing for her?
No
That's
idea.
what I really want to know. That's what I really want to know. Now, I understand if you do that for all these people. Now, if you're a busy girl and you can do all of that for everybody, then I could see why you would post something like that, because in your head you're like, well, if I can do this with my busy schedule, it shouldn't be that hard for you to do it, okay?
Well,
But
I
I know
have
for a
2.
fact she's not. That's my big thing. I know for a fact she's not. It's logical. It's just the logical answer. So that's why it's so much more like, what did I just read? Like, this isn't a one-way street. This two-way. If you're gonna look at it like that, then you need to look at it like that through and through, not just this way.
And I've gotten rated or hosted by many different creators. And it is, in my opinion, that's one of the biggest like signs of respect a streamer can give. And the reason why I say that is because when you host your channel out to someone, it means that you are trusting that streamer that you're hosting into or rating into with your community, because you want to give them something to continue to watch. There are people that view a lot. There are people that lurk a lot. There are people that are active in the chat, but you want to send those people in a good vibe and a good mentality to good people as things are going. And when it comes to the weird world of content, we can't allow ourselves to worry about how other people handle those situations, because we have so much on our own that we have to deal with. We have, like, I made a tweet today in response to that, where essentially it is, if we are so worried about lurkers in our chats, we could use that time that we're so worried about a lurker in our chat to fix our content. Because if you do that and you put your head down and you do the work, people are going to start seeing your content and they're going to flock to you.
Yep.
And my goal as a creator is 100% just to spread positivity in any format that I can. And to do that, I have to understand some of the negative aspects that are put around and are put into place on it. Because the more that we focus on ourselves, the more that we allow ourselves to grow that confidence and to believe in ourselves, the faster we're going to grow. And as you've seen in your experience as a rapid growth, the more people are going to want to follow you. So that's my opinion on that.
No, I agree. I like, that's a big reason why I don't care, right? When people stop into my streams, I'm assuming it's because they have time. They had a quick break where they were able to, or, they're eating, like you said. And that's also a big reason why I don't have a set stream schedule besides like the draining portion. It's people do things throughout all the times of the day, all over the world. And they have times when they watch streamers, and it's easier for them to watch and, communicate and interact with that streamer. And if I stream at 8 p.m. every day or every other day, and I have a viewer that's like, I can never make it to your streams. I'm always at work, or I'm always, I'm driving or something. It's that bad timing for me where I can never stop into your streams. And now that's the same thing for people that do have a stream schedule. That person wants to support you so bad, but they aren't able to, and that's understandable. They're trying, they just can't. It's just how the life works, how the world works. So I'm not offended if you can't stop in. I sleep a lot. I'm exhausted lately after work, so I don't have time. I'm sorry, I'm asleep. I can't just hop into your stream if I'm sleeping, So if I'm not worried about that, you shouldn't be either. Like, I'm trying to grow. So me, of all people, I would be the one that's worried about it the most, because I'm like, come on, I support you. You don't support me. And I don't. So why do these bigger streamers feel that's such a thing, right? Support for support. Like,
Support
it's
for
free to
support is not going to
someone.
help you grow.
It's free to support someone.
Mm-hmm.
A like is free. A
Yep.
repost is free.
Yep.
All of that is free. What is that doing for you besides taking a millisecond out of your day? A millisecond. That is way faster than joining somebody's stream and typing in it. If I can retweet your tweet and it gets you a viewer, I did something that makes me happy, because if I can't be in your stream, at least I can get somebody to go to it.
And that's the mentality that a lot of creators should have. Is it's not about this. It's not about like even people seeing our stuff. We want to try to push ourselves however we can. We want to take the time to like the content that we like, that we see. Sometimes there's so many different content creators out there. Sometimes your stuff just doesn't show up on our For You page anymore. And it's not about interaction. It's why, like, occasionally I'll do a post on Twitter, like I did a couple days ago, like, hey, this group of people, interact with this so I can get back to whatever side of Twitter I want to be on, so I can start seeing your content again. The moment I started tagging that group of people, I started seeing their content again, because that's how the algorithm refresh works on, Twitter. The Twitter algorithm is really interesting, and like I'm a tech nerd, so I look into the back end of things like consistently, because I want to see their API systems. I want to see how things work. I want to watch their algorithms at work. I want to watch their algorithms play. And people come up to me and they ask me, they're like, oh, well, if you know all these algorithms, then why aren't you growing? And I'm like, well, because I'm not trying to grow. My goal is something different.
Right.
I look into the algorithms for the sole purpose to kind of understand how things work, so I can modify my For You page, so I can still be a viewer as well as posting the content that I want to post. That is my underlying goal. It's a weird goal. It's different than most creators, but that's kind of where I'm at. it's only been about like a month ago where I made a conscious decision where I want to start taking content very serious, which is ironic because I took a month off. And so what am I doing in that month? And so if I'm not posting content, I'm working on the back end of my stream to do something even better. I'm working on ways to change my starting soon screen, to change the interactions within my chat, to learn how specific bots work, to put things together, to create a more holistic viewer experience. I'm learning StreamerBot. I'm learning Lumia Stream. I'm learning all these different things. I'm learning about LUTs. I'm learning about region of interest calculators. And like I actually showed you that today when I was putting things on in regards to frame rate and like making things look a little bit clearer. There are certain things that can be added to your streams to make the view better for everybody around. In a world of content, we have to find those. And the only way that we can do that is our own research. So what is your advice to any new creators that are wanting to go from that initial step of, hey, I'm going to hit this live button, it's going to be great, it's going to be awesome, to what can I do to make things better?
Honestly, find what works best for you. Every streamer is different. Whether it comes to the layout of your stream, it could go down to even something as minor as where your camera is on your stream. Okay.
Yep.
It could be in the bottom right corner, and for whatever reason, you move it to the top left corner and it draws more attraction. Every streamer is different. It depending on what your goal is. If you're just trying to find what works best to gain attraction, then you're just going to keep trying new things. You're going to try new overlays. You're going to try new starting screens, new little things. You're going to start learning about all these little things. If you're wanting to grow your stream bigger and keep it with the same aesthetic that you've started, and you're like, I love this, I want this to be my aesthetic, then you just start promoting it. You know, algorithms, like he was talking about, are different for everybody. Some days my posts pop off on Twitter. Some days I get 100 likes. Some days I get 3,000 likes. Different times of the day, different days. Everybody's streams are different. My streams might work better on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, while Perks might work better on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Everybody's streaming is different. You just have to keep, like I said, depending on what your goal is, you either keep adjusting little things and just checking how it's working and the progression that it's making, or you change the way you're promoting it. That it just depends. You want to keep your aesthetic or you don't. It either goes with, you need to promote yourself differently and find the different days and time frames that work better for promoting your stuff and yourself and your streams. Or you just keep trying different algorithms that you think work better, whether it's your camera in a different spot, or it's you having actual overlay over your screen, or oh, I have a whole new starting stream now. Oh, I've noticed that people like this type of music in my stream better than that type of music. Everybody's different. You have to figure out what your goal is for your stream, and then you work from there. You create little goals to adjust that. If you want to change the actual look of your stream, start looking at other people's streams. See little things that you might like, things that work differently for them. Some people have goals at the bottom. Some people have little revolving pictures. Some people have just little random things on their stream that gains attraction for them for whatever reason. You know, you just have to find what you want and then figure out how that works and how you can make it work and make it fit to you specifically.
Absolutely. I say this every podcast too, but 95% of what streamers do is introspective. And what I mean by introspective is we look deep into ourselves to figure out what we're doing wrong and how we're able to grow. And like you said it best, it's like we should be viewers at the same time as we're streamers, because there's going to be some things that I'm doing extremely well that CPREDs may want to take from what I'm doing, and vice versa. It's not that it's like a take type thing, but it's how can you implement certain things inside of your own content to allow things to be better. It's like, so
Right.
I started the podcast because this is something different. It's a different style of content. People aren't used to this style of content. Did I watch other podcast hosts? No, I'm just a streamer. I'm just somebody who wants to give back to the wonderful world that is content, that is community, to allow people to find ways to help them grow. And I'm going to take things from like random pieces, random parts. Like, you think I would be able to talk to people like BB Jess or Shorty Pie or The Only Shady if I didn't spend time as a viewer first? No, you have to spend that time as a viewer. You have to interact. You have to be positive. You have to show yourself in their stream to an extent. There are things that they're going to be doing that are going to help your stream immensely. There are things that I'm doing that might help their streams immensely. But you never know unless you truly enjoy it and find out. And that's why I say there's really only one journey as a content creator, and it's the one that you make of it. Some people are going to grow extremely slow, like myself. I've been streaming for 5.5 years, and I went from 0 to 600 followers on Kick very rapidly within 3 years. And then I went from 0 to 500 followers on Kick within 5 years. And a lot of people will turn around and say, Perk, you should just quit. And my response is no. The reason why I'm not growing is because I'm not posting content. Everything is completely different. Everything is like retrospective to each streamer. No journey is ever going to be the same. So we have to like understand that and look back at the content that we are creating to try to make better content as a whole. And that's how people are going to find your channel and who are going to follow.
Right.
Because I've been a viewer for 10 years. I was a viewer back when it was Justin TV. I was also a viewer back when it was when TikTok was that other name, I forget what it was, Musically. So
Yep. I remember that. You had Musically and you had Vine and you know, all the OG stuff. Yeah, I remember all that stuff too.
I started on Scout, and a lot of people don't even know what Scout is. So
You just like unlocked, I think, like a core memory in my head,
Right?
honestly.
So like I started with on Scout, and the first thing that I did is I used a phone. I used an iPhone 13. My first stream was on Scout, and I went live and I talked and I interacted with other people's chats, and I got to know certain creators, and we just ended up talking and vibing and playing video games while just doing what we typically do. I never expect people to come into my lives, but when they do, it's awesome, and I appreciate the hell out of it. But everyone's goal is different. Everyone's journey is different. The only thing that you can do is modify that journey to let it be faster or slower based on what you want to do. And I just want to create a positive community for everybody. So, what is your game plan to help you continue to grow? Or do you not have one?
I think my game plan is just to continue being me and hope that that grows my audience. I hope that one day I will be a partner for Twitch, and I hope that one day I will become big on Kick and I'm on the front page of those one day and people see it and they're like, oh, this looks like a fun stream to join it. And I'm just gonna continue going the same route I've been. I feel like currently it is still working pretty well for me. I think that maybe down the line, if it does start to seem like it's fallen back a little bit and like I might have to think of a new game plan and what I could possibly do to excite my viewers some more and bring attention back to me that makes them want to do it, whether that's me sadly playing a different game or
Hashtag COD sucks.
or,
Quit.
Listen, if y'all want to watch me play Webkins, just say that. I'll play Webkins any day. Anyways,
You want to watch me play Arc Raiders? Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll get a trio together for Arc Raiders. You never know.
you know what I'm saying? Like, but I think it's just for now, it seems like the game plan that I've just been kind of going with the flow and just being myself and posting about it and sharing it in different platforms. I think it's going pretty well for me right now. So I think that's just kind of my current game plan, unless it changes, right? Unless I see that, people don't care to watch me anymore. I'm like, all right, well, let's make myself a little bit funnier again. What happened to me, and start, like you said, looking within myself to see what I can do to honestly probably just get back to normal, because I feel like I am not even in any cocky way. Like, I am doing pretty well for how fast it's going for me. So I feel if it does start to slow down, it's probably a me thing. It is probably I'm starting to burn out, whether I realize it or not. I'm not as enthusiastic in my streams. Maybe I'm not streaming as much because I am burnt out, Then I will definitely reevaluate myself and my streams and maybe watch some of my streams back and watch myself. See if you can see it in my face. You can hear it in my voice. You can see that I'm not as enthusiastic, Then I might look into a new game plan or even just try to work on getting back to the original game plan. But for now, I think it's going pretty well. And I think that's the game plan that I'm sticking to as of now.
I love it. And my advice to you and also to all streamers is you're fine. You're doing perfect. You're doing, especially you, Elise, you're doing perfect. You're doing exactly what you need to do because you're doing exactly what you want to do. And you said you wanted to be a Twitch partner. Well, if you really want something, manifest it because you will make it happen. And that's my advice to every content creator. If you want to go live, just manifest it. Make it happen. Do what you need to do to go live. If you want a new computer, say, I'm going to go get a new computer. I'm going to do everything in my power to go get that new computer. Allow yourself to be in that mindset that this is what I want to do, because passion is what drives us forward. Passion is what lights that spark in the content world to drive us forward. It's all about passion. And if I don't have passion when I'm making content, I'm not going to post. Straight up. And that's nothing against the post. It's that I want to put forward content that I'm proud of. I want to put forth a stream that I'm proud of. And if I see things messing up, sweet. It's gonna I'm gonna try to do everything that I can to learn how to fix it and fix it. If I see my edits not looking as clean or as sharp as I want them to, then I'm gonna spend days and days on end on YouTube learning about what LUT should I add to my video edits, what can I do as an introductionary edit, and how can I make something just look better? Because if you truly want something, you will make it happen. You are that partner. You just are waiting for Twitch to see that. I am going to eventually be a member of Ghost because I want to make that happen. Because that is my goal. And it's nothing against anything that anybody else is doing. I'm just going to do everything in my power to allow myself to be there, to give the best possible content forward, and to be the best podcaster that I want to be, because I suck at COD. Let's just be real.
Listen, me too. It's okay. And I stream, like, I will literally be streaming, and I freaking fell off the map yesterday. I went to go wall jump and dropped right down. So then I'm just looking, I'm like,
I'm leveling up a marksman rifle, and I got zero. I got zero kills. It happens.
I'm telling everybody, make sure you guys blinked when I did that, because, like, you didn't see that.
But see, I'm the asshole who will turn around and be like,
me.
Mm-hmm. I'm the asshole who will like never let you live it down. I'll be like, ha, that's why you jumped off the map that game. But
I do it to myself all the time.
We all do.
I have a clip on my Twitch that actually, I think somebody else clipped it from my chat, and it just says Notorious Giggles. And it's because it was a 1v1, and this dude was running around with a whacking stick, and he was chasing me around a tree, and I just kept laughing, and he just beat the crap out of me. And I was just laughing, and somebody clipped it, and it was just because it made everybody laugh. It was funny. It was hilarious, and I was playing like crap, but I was still having fun. Like, I don't care if I'm playing good or bad. Like, yeah, maybe sometimes I'll play bad and I'll be like, man, I've been playing for hours, I'm gonna get off. But I'll be like, I'm 9-32, y'all. Don't look at this. I swear I'm better some days. Like, I'm just having a bad day. Don't watch. You know.
And, I mean, and everybody has those, especially when it comes to a high-paced, high-caliber game like Call of Duty. Nothing is going to be easy. Nothing is going to be simple. And it relates back to the streaming world and the content world. Nothing is going to be easy. Nothing is going to be simple. There are 1.5 million different platforms that you can use, but it's how you want to do it. It truly is your own journey as a creator. It truly is. So do it with it, what you want to do with it, because that's how you can showcase your passion. Because passion is going to draw emotion, is going to draw empathy, which is going to create a connection. And that's kind of the backdated psychology of it. Because
I agree.
Like, I talked about this with one of my friends before, right? It's like, are you gonna, if you see two people in a room and there's two tables, you can't sit anywhere else. You're not allowed. There's only two tables. One person is somebody who's happy and joyous and smiling and is just reading a book. The other person is sad and crying and also reading a book. Which table are you going to sit at?
I mean, I'm personally probably gonna go check on the sad person because that's just who I am as a person. But I feel most people would go towards the better energy.
Because positive energy does attract, and it allows that connection. And like, absolutely, people might pop in and like check on you, and like it's a thing. But like, even in a content
not
creation
everybody.
space, yeah. But well, pity follows are a thing. So like, but when it comes to organic growth, because I'm a firm believer in organic growth, my entire channel is based off of organic growth. There are 0 bots. There are 0 ghost accounts. There are 0 anything. Every viewer that you see in my chat is a real human being because they want to be here. The reason why I do that, and I went from 0 and now I'm at where I'm at, is because I want people to see my passion, my genuine heart, because that's really, really what it is. And when it comes to view bots, when it comes to people pushing themselves up on the algorithm to be seen, that's their own decision. Like, is it going to help them grow in the long run? No, because the genuine chat interactions that we're going to have when I'm on my normal streams and not my podcast streams are going to happen because people genuinely want to be there. And I'm going to look back at those streams to see what can I do as a COD creator to make more people want to join my streams. I watched CPREDs go from 2 viewers to 200 viewers. I watched The Only Shady go from 10 viewers to 1,000 viewers. I've watched people grow their absolute pants off. I've seen people fail. I've seen people succeed. And it all boils down to this. Showcase your passion and have fun with it and be enthusiastic, authentically yourself.
1,000%.
So, do you have any last messages that you want to give to any new and inspiring creators in the vast world of content? Sorry, I went on like a 10-minute rant there.
No, you're good. One thing, or maybe like 2 things, whatever, that I have to say to any new streamer or anybody that's thinking about clicking that go live button, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's in a month. Do not let anybody or anything discourage you from doing what you want to do. I have had so many people in the beginning of my content creating try to tell me what's going to work best for me. I have had You don't even know. I've had endless amounts of people. Oh, well, if you play this game, it's gonna get you better traction, or if you wear this, or you do your hair like this, or you like. I have heard all of this, and I don't listen to it. Everything I have done and grown, yes, I take advice. I take that with a grain of salt, though. And if it works with me, it does. Don't let people discourage you because something worked for them. It's not always going to work for you. Be you, and the people that are meant to see you and follow you and watch you and join your community are going to come, and they're going to be there. You do not have to fake who you are. You do not have to go out of your way to try to convince people. Just let them come to you. Your energy will bring the correct people to you. I am very unfiltered. I am very loud, like I stated. I'm crazy. I am just this crazy person, okay? I've never filtered that or quieted that to attract people to my streams or to make people want to, watch me or talk to me or communicate with me. Because why do I want somebody in there that can't handle me for me? I don't click that go live button for you guys necessarily. I do that for me. I do that because I love to do it. Yes, I love my community and I love talking to you guys, but you are not the reason I click go live. Because if that was the reason, I would have never clicked go live in the first place. I didn't have anybody when I first started. So if that's what I was going off of, I would have never clicked go live. I did that because I wanted to do that. I did that because I wanted to have fun with what I do, and then also make friends that liked watching me and liked doing the things that I do, and they felt comfortable with me. I didn't do anything for anybody besides me. So don't let somebody discourage you. Don't let the people badmouth you, make you feel bad. Just have fun. Don't let anybody drain you. Don't feel obligated. This is not your job, okay? This is supposed to be fun. Can it be your job? Yes. But when you first start, this isn't your job, okay? You're not going to make much when you first start, if anything. You're doing this for fun. You're not obligated to anyone's time. You're not obligated to do what everybody else wants or likes. You do it at all your own pace. You'll find what works best for you, and then you'll grow with it. Whether it's short or fast, whatever you want, just let it happen. Don't let others make you feel like you have to do one thing when you don't. It's just everybody, like he said, everybody's path is different. Everybody creates their own journey for streaming. Nobody is forced to follow the same path. Don't be discouraged by the people that have a gazillion viewers. I get like 4. Okay, some days I get 15. Some days I have 0. Okay, it never discourages me because I just go in there and have fun and then let the rest happen. Just have fun with streaming. Just
absolutely
don't lose your love for it. Don't lose your love. Just forever remind yourself why you wanted to and why you started in the first place.
Content is one of those things where you have to keep repeating exactly what you're doing, and then eventually it'll take or it won't. And then I think is really interesting because the definition of insanity is to do something over and over and over again until it works.
Expect a different result, but
exactly.
Yeah.
But in the world of content, we're all insane. Because we're going to do that over and over and over again, and eventually we will get a different result. And that's the weird, crazy part about the world of content is like, in order for somebody to see your passion, they got to join at the right time. They got to enjoy that 30-second little interim mark to be able to see things, to be able to do things, to be able to want things. It's a whole different world. That's why the world of content is such an interesting place. And I could talk about it for hours and hours and hours, and this is where my passion comes from. And you could see and it's not the coffee, it's my passion that's actually talking. As the stream goes on and we actually talk about the world of content, I'm going to get more animated. I'm going to get more excited. I'm going to say more things in regards to it. You can't go into the world of streaming and expect to be Kai Cenat. Bitch, that's not going to happen.
Exactly.
You have to go into the world of content expecting to be yourself. Because eventually you'll get a ton of followers and a ton of people. And maybe you won't. Because you'll be seen at the right time, if it's the right time, when it's the right time. But you know what is always going to stay the same? Yourself. So don't be afraid to hit that live button. Don't be afraid to go live. But my recommendation for anybody that wants to go live, utilize YouTube, do your own research, and post content. Because that's the only way you're going to be seen.
And don't give up.
Don't give
Ever.
up.
You
As
gotta
hard
just
as it's
push
going to be,
through.
it is going to be hard. Don't give up. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for popping into another episode of the PSP Podcast, where Perk spreads positivity. Huge shout out to Elisma OX. And if you are not following her, please make sure you are. I have linked her in every title, so please make sure you click on that, shoot her a follow. Go enjoy her content. Go see why she grew so quickly. And thank you, Elise, so much for pulling up and showing exactly what it means to have passion, discipline, and honestly, just being yourself. It means a whole lot, and I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me. It was a blast, and I always love talking to you, Burke.
Oh, I appreciate you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all for tonight's episode. Make sure you guys join tomorrow. We have Pixel Vix joining us. But until then, deuces, everybody.